Thank you for the introduction. So today I'm going to talk about Oracle EBS with Enterprise Command Center. This is the new functionality in Oracle eBusiness Release 12.2.4 and higher version. And I am about me. I am Venkanna Mittakanti. I am an Oracle ACE. I have over 22 years of experience with Oracle ERP and Oracle technologies, focusing on implementing, designing, developing, and maintaining applications. And I've been specializing in supply chain modules, implementations, and solutions. In fact, I worked for Oracle Corporation back from 2000 to 2007 as a EBS developer, product development team. Then currently I'm the lead Oracle application analyst at the Siemens Corporation since 2009. In fact, I came from there is another company called Dresser-Rand. The Siemens Corp acquired Dresser-Rand back in 2015. I'm an active member in the Oracle application user group. The name is changed to Oracle Applications and Technology User Group Community, and I hold a couple of board positions as well. So I'm the board member of Texas Louisiana Regional User Group. Then I'm the board member for OATG's Emerging Technology, User Management, and the Procurement Special Interest Groups. And I've been writing a Oracle ERP blog as well, but primarily focusing on Oracle EBS and emerging technologies. I've written a couple of articles on cloud ERP, but not much. But EBS, I've written a lot of articles and emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotic process automation, and AI. About me. So what I will do is I'll stop sharing the video because the video quality will be much better, and then I will focus on. I think I was trying to see where do I see my session now. I'm going to stop the sharing the video. Okay, now I'll go and share my screen. Okay, and okay. So today, the agenda for the session, I'm going to cover overview of the enterprise command centers and the key features. Then we'll talk about how the integration and security works with the ECC dashboards. And primarily, I'm going to talk about the procurement command center dashboards and the order management command center dashboard. So in this session, I'm trying to focus mainly from the business perspective, what the user looks into. How does this ECC helps the user to do their day-to-day job, and what are the ECC dashboards are available across the EBS, and what are the benefits of using the ECC functionality. And I will talk little. I will not go too deep into technical architecture, but just I will touch base with how the ECC how this ATT product is technical architecture, and how to extend the ECC dashboards as well. And if you have any questions, we will take at the end of the session. Okay. So I think for any of the Oracle EBS implementation, which I've been through, we do a lot of custom reports developments. When you develop the custom reports development, there is a cost is also involved in the development efforts and as well as the maintenance also. And generally, we use Oracle Discoverer or XML Publisher or Oracle reports to develop these reports. And sometimes, some customers, they decide to use third-party tools like Bleach or Bit or Noetics. There are a lot of third-party reporting tools in the market. It depends on their, requirements and how much they can spend. Either they go for third-party tools or they go for their own custom report development. But I'll give an idea how many reports we developed when we implemented Oracle EBS at our company. I can give a rough numbers like the procurement area. We developed almost like 30 to 40 reports, and order management also same thing, around 40 reports, and financial area, and in manufacturing area also. So we developed so many Discover reports, and then we have some reports that are concurrent programs. But the challenge for the business user is that he has to run some reports from the applications and some reports from the discoverer. Then he has to export to the Excel, and then he has to merge the data what he's looking for. So today, with the custom report development, also is not easy for the user to look into exactly what to focus on when it comes to the work. So the Oracle came up with this product called an Oracle Enterprise Command Centers. So the primary purpose of this product is to solve the problems of what users should work on next without any custom operational reporting. So when a user comes to the work, what is his high priority task? What are the low priority tasks? See, as a buyer, I came to the work. What should what should I which are the my high priority tasks for me? Converting any of the urgent requisitions to the PO, or following with the suppliers, like they are supposed to deliver this particular PO yesterday, but they didn't deliver. Which is a very critical for our business, to manufacturing or to ship to the end customer. you know so but today, if he runs multiple places to get that information. And ECCs, or enterprise command centers, are fully integrated with the e-business suite to enable enterprise to optimize operational decisions and improve process efficiency with the real-time access to operational data, and driving better cost and revenue decisions. It helps to, cost wise, it helps. And then when the user has a good information, he can take the decision quicker. So ECC dashboards enable information-driven navigation. So we have a lot of data in the Oracle EBS data, but we have to have the presentable and the right information to the user so that he can take the right decision. And I think the dashboards are browse and drill on actionable indicators. I think I will show you when I show you the command center homepage, then you will understand exactly what does it mean. So what is this? Whenever you apply the you can apply the consumer like search and filters, like Amazon.com or eBay. We apply the filters like we are looking to this particular product, and we are looking for this. We are looking from the supplier, from these suppliers. That keeps refining the data. That's the way. In the ECC also we can apply the filters. And every time you apply the filter, data is recalculated with each drill, and it is a conversation with the data. You ask the question, you will get the answer back from the ECC dashboards. And then you will narrow down to the selected transaction, then you act on it. Either if it is a requisition, then you will convert to PO. If it is an order, if the order has a sales order has any holds, then you will go ahead and release the holds. So, and it provides the information discovery, visualization, and exploration capabilities embedded within Oracle EBS user interface. ECC comes with an out-of-box page, which ECC pages are the self-service HTML pages, which is help you to get started very quickly without any training. And enterprise, as I mentioned earlier, enterprise command centers are delivered with the EBS release 12.2.4 and higher versions. And we cannot use this ECC dashboards with release 12.1.3. Minimum requirement we have to be upgraded to 12.2.4 and higher. And there is no additional licensing needed. If you are the EBS customer, then you can use free of cost. And totally we have 30 enterprise command center and compromising 106 dashboards. So the main difference is like account payable is a one command center, but within our purchasing is one command center. But within the purchasing, we have multiple dashboards. We have the requisition dashboard, purchase orders dashboard, the agreements dashboard. So totally we have some products, some modules, if they might have two command centers, like a procurement module, they have a separate for the procurement, then they have a separate for the project procurement command center. And it supports the multilingual. So like if I'm the user from the US, I can see my data in English. And if the France user logs into the EBS instance from French user or Germany user, they can see their data in their local language. Extensible with ECC framework. So it is easy to change and add dashboards for EBS related data. some of the changes, most of the changes made can be functional user, even end user can make the changes. It's not like the other reports, discover at least user can make changes, but concurrent programs, we have to always to go back to the development team. So this is like, when you log into the enterprise command center, you will see the page like this. You will have the matrix information in the top, then you have the charts, and these are the charts you have. Then these are the result table, the transaction information. Then you have the filter criteria. So when I click on when I see the matrix here, when I click on that one, automatically these pages are recalculated and refined. It will result the results will be keep changing. So that way, and then you can, on the left hand side, you can apply. If I'm the procurement, I'm the buyer, I can put on a buyer name is equal to my name. Then I'm looking into the purchase orders which are requisitions approved, and the need by date falls into next 30 days. Then I will look into my specific information. And key features, it is information discovery, and advanced. It has advanced search capabilities, embedded analytics, and it covers almost all the financial and supply chain modules. Supports for various user roles, and seamless UI integration. So it is integrated with the self-service HTML pages, as well as the core forms, Oracle application forms, and secured by EBS security. So we will access the enterprise command center using the EBS responsibility and menu navigation. So whatever the responsibility have access to their data, same data is accessible from the enterprise command center. Then extensible. Now we can extend the dashboards. So some other additional key features, when I put the filters, I can save my searches. I put the buyer name is equal to my name, and look for the requisitions which are approved and not yet converted to POs, and then look for the need by date filter, and I can save my search. And every day when I come to my work, I can use that as a default. So my search criteria, and then I can look into my priority transactions. And it gives the capability to export the data to Excel, and it has a descriptive flex field support as well. So descriptive, we can use the descriptive flex field to filter your data as well. Not only just show the descriptive flex field information in the result table, but we can search by we can use the descriptive flex field for search criteria as well. And this is the other one is availability requirement scrollability. That is you can filter by data by header, lines, line details, and other fields which are relevant to that particular command center. And results table pagination. So bulk action, when you have the result table, it shows the multiple records or multiple lines. If you want to cancel those lines, you can select the multiple lines and you can cancel. Or if you want to open, if let's say if I have those sales orders in my open orders, if I select the multiple orders, when I click on open those orders, it will open in the order organizers form. So the forms integration, it is integrated with the Oracle core forms as well as the self-service pages. And online data load, I will touch base about this topic later when I go through the how to load the data. The ECC doesn't bring the data directly from the database. It uses the metadata, so that way we don't put any load on the data Oracle EBS database. So integration and security, it is as I mentioned, it is integrates with the EBS UI, with the forms and OA framework pages, and ECC pages are within the EBS menu navigation. And it honors the EBS security, functional security, and data security, similar to role-based access control. So now I'm going to cover. I'm going to talk about the procurement command center. Procurement command center are built primarily for the buyer or the catalog manager or the procurement manager. So it optimizes the procurement operations, content management, and supplier relationships. So the other thing, features of the procurement command center is expedite the procurement operations, take corrective action and exceptions. So let us say there are certain POs are in process or they are waiting for the buyer acceptance. We can see those exceptions and manage, or if there are, there were supposed to be some of the PO shipments to be delivered last week, but that they are not yet delivered. So we can see that what are the shipments are not delivered. So we can take a corrective action on those exceptions. Manage against the dates for timely completion. So we can manage the need by date, promise dates from the command center itself. And I'm not going to talk about the catalog content, but then we'll talk about the supplier performance. We can analyze the supplier, how he is performing, how is the delivery times, how is the price, and is he our preferred supplier? Do we have an agreement with them? We can we can look into all the information from the command center, then figure out, is it the right supplier to place create a, place a PO for my open requisitions. So procurement command center has the, multiple dashboards, requisitions, purchase orders, agreements, sourcing, indirect procurement, supplier analysis, item analysis. So I'm not going to cover all the dashboards in today's session, but I'm going to touch base with requisitions, purchase orders, agreements. Then we'll talk about a little bit of supplier analysis. So this is now I'm logged in as a buyer. So when I go to my purchasing responsibility, when I access the procurement enterprise command center dashboard page, this is your home page. And this is the top of the section. You see that currency, functional currency, in pool, unassigned requisitions, urgent requisitions. This is the matrix. Then you have the chart region here. Then this is the results table region. You will have headers, lines, and distribution. Depending on the dashboard, it will come the relevant tab pages. And here you have the refinement search criteria. You can put the filters by headers, lines, line details, line reference, and the distribution. Then you have an option of a global search criteria. So here when you put it, you'll put the column level search, but here I can blindly search it. I can search by my name, or if I know the requisition number, I can enter the requisition number. It automatically brings up the related information in this page. So give me 1 second, I will be back. Sorry, I'm back here. Okay, so these are the different regions in the dashboard page. Now, so this is in the main page. This is the procurement command center. This is the requisition dashboard. So in the matrix we have in pool. So these are the requisition lines. They are not yet converted to POs. Unassigned requisitions means the requisitions doesn't have the buyer information. So it means they won't show these requisition lines in anybody's queue. So then you have urgent requisitions. It means the requisitions are created and approved, but marked as the urgent. And then requisitions to process. These are the requisitions which need to be processed in next 30 days. It means their need by date falls. These requisitions need by date falls within next 30 days. So the primary purpose of this dashboard is manage a work queue by acting on requisitions based on priority. Check if the requisition line can be fulfilled using an existing catalog. Find the best supplier for the request. Manage workload by assigning reassigning the requisitions within the team, right? If I look into my queue, like if I put the buyer name is equal to my name, and if I see how many requisitions are in my queue, if I have too many requisition lines or requisitions in my queue, I can, the procurement manager can reassign to somebody else within the team. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look into specific I'm going to filter the data now. So we have this is the generic page, but now I'm looking into, first what I did is I think first I looked into the urgent requisitions. That was the reason. If you see that on the left hand side, you see the criteria: requisitions urgent flag is equal to Y. And then I'm looking into unassigned requisitions. It means the buyer name, these requisition lines, they don't have, these do not have the buyer information. So when I look into this one, we have the urgent requisitions also too, but both of the requisition do not have the buyer information. So it will say that, if you see in the chart, it says that one requisition falls within it is already have the need by date in the past, and the next one, it falls within next 15 days. These are the two requisitions. And this graph shows that both these requisitions are delivered to New York City. They have the ship to location as a New York City. And so here in the result page, it will show those requisitions information here. And when I go to the next page and requisition lines, you can see that one of them need by date falls into September 30th. That was the first. The other one is the October 16th. That will be, it falls in next 15 days queue. So then, so let us say, okay, these are the marked as urgent requisitions. It means that I had to, as a buyer, I'm supposed to act, these are my priority transactions. So I'm supposed to act on this transaction. So now what I will do is I'm going to convert it to PO, right? I'm supposed to convert it to. So when I do the analyze the supplier, what it does is it gives next page saying that, what are the suppliers we use to source this part. I didn't have the right screenshot here, but what is in the left hand side, it puts the filter by the part number is equal to this part number F7100. Then it puts the catalog also. Those are two filters automatically carried when you access from the analyze suppliers to this supplier dashboard page, and it automatically populates the suppliers. Okay, this part we sourced in the past from this so and so suppliers, and it will show their performance also. How is their delivery time or the quality rating? It will give the another graph saying that most, it will show the metric information. How many of the lines they delivered on time, how many are overdue. It will give the information. Then So then when I selected one of the supplier, I think what I'm going to do, let me show you here. So here it will, in the same page, it will show the list of suppliers here. And when it goes to here, it will show me like all the suppliers information. If I have any POs placed with this supplier related to this particular item number, it will display those purchase orders, which are already open POs or which are closed. Then secondly, if you have an agreement with that supplier, it will show the agreement number also. Okay. And then what I decided is that, okay, I have the supplier. I already figured out that I'm going to use the Dell computers to purchase this monitor. So I'm adding to the document builder here. There is an option to add to document builder. So what happens is when I add to the document builder, first I'll select my supplier, then from the actions here we can add to document builder. Once it's added to the document builder, then I can access my document builder page in the top of the menu. And when I click on the document builder, it will bring up my document builder page. From here, I can convert that requisition, I can create an RFQ. Either I can request for quote from the supplier, or if I know the supplier, I have already decided that I'm going to place a PO with this particular supplier, I can, I know the price as well. So then I can convert it to the purchase order. And you create, there is an option to RFQ or the order. Then automatically it brought the supplier information to this page, and it has the requisition lines information. So when you go to the next page, it will show the purchase order similar to in the buyer work center or the purchase order form. You will see the headers, lines, schedules, these are the shipments and the distribution. If you want to make any changes to the PO, this is still is a just a create is in the process of creating the PO. Once you submit it, it will return the PO number, right? So from there, similarly, these are all equations. These are input. It means these are all need to be converted to the POs. These are don't have the buyer information. These are marked as urgent equations, and the equations which are falling need by date falls within the next 15 days. So as a buyer, he can manage his work from the requisition dashboard. And the other responsibility of the buyer is to manage the created POs as well. That is other is a job. So take a corrective action on the exception before they affect the business. So if you see this one, orders to watch and overdue shipments due, overdue deliverables, and invoice on hold. So orders to watch means those are the required reapproval, or it is those POs are waiting for buyer's acceptance. iSupplier portal, as a supplier, they logged into the iSupplier portal, they requested some additional changes, then it will go through the buyer acceptance process. And these overdue shipments, these are the open shipments that have a need by date in the past. And shipments due, these are the open shipments that have the need by date in the next 15 days. Open deliverables with these are also, they are supposed to be delivered in the past, but they are not yet delivered. So this is also priority for the buyer, right? Because they are supposed to deliver last month or last week, but they are not yet, we didn't receive the goods yet. Then invoices on hold. So if you created invoices for any of these POs, any of these these buyer POs, if they have hold, it will show that the invoice is on hold. So it means they are not, that hold has to be released before they can make a payment to the supplier. So then now I'm looking into orders to watch. It means those are requests to reapproval, or they are supplier or request changes pending. So in this case, what he has to do is buyer or some of the PO got changed. The buyer has to review the PO and submit for approval. Similarly, if the change request is pending, then he has to review the change and accept the change or reject it. And overdue shipments, it means those are falling their shipment need by date in the past. It means that I'll go to quickly to the next slide. So let us say if I have the need by date in, these are not realistic, but it's 2020 February. It means I don't need this part anymore, or if I need this part, then I should follow up with the supplier. So from here, I can have option to cancel the line, or I can change the need by date and follow up with the supplier. Similarly, when I say that if I want to change the need by date, when I click on, there is an option to here. When I go back to the lines, there is an update icon. When I click on that one, then it will come to bring it to my orders main page. Here, I can do an update the need by dates on this PO. Then I can submit for approval. Similarly, we have an agreements dashboard. So the agreements dashboard helps you to, when your agreements are reaching their expiry date, or if they are reaching the agreements are reaching the their maximum approval limit, then those are it means they're about to expire. So those agreements which will show here in the agreements dashboard, it requires the buyer attention. And so from there, you can, if you want, you can go to the, you can see you can open those blanket agreements. You can change the end date for those agreements, or you can renegotiate those agreements with the supplier. And same, I think, yeah, same page. And that's all about the dashboards. In the agreements, you can change either the maximum approval limit, or you can change the amount agreed maximum limit, or you can change the end date. But but he will have any discussion with the supplier. He will make any changes with those changes. From the order management command center, I will quickly go through. So as a this order management command center helps a lot to the customer sales rep, customer service representative. It accelerates the order flow and quickly act on order exceptions. Primarily, we are trying to progress the order quickly and meet the revenue goals. Like, let us say, if we want to get more revenue in the current month, we can look into the open orders which are not yet shipped. Then we can ship those orders and then invoice it so that the revenue is recognized in the current month cycle. So when you look into the orders dashboard page, and what you will see is here, drafts and with alerts, late and open. Draft means these orders are entered, they are in entered status. Okay, I'll go to the next page. Draft, I think, yeah, okay. So these are the orders it is showing. Again, the orders are order creation date is last 7 days, or the request date. It will show those charts, and then it will showing by customer how many orders we have. With the business world, we have how many orders, AC networks, how many orders is there, and how many orders are with exceptions, how many are good. And draft means orders are entered, but they are not yet booked. Okay. So then with alerts, and similarly in the lines result table, this is just the lines view, and they're all entered. And from the orders page itself, we can click on the update icon. Then it opens the order in the orders HTML page, the self-service screen. And here we can go ahead and book the order. We don't need to access the order management responsibility and then book the order. We can directly access the screen and book the order. See, similarly, you have, when you create a sales order, you might have a lot of holds. You have the pricing holds or credit holds, or if you screen any of the export component screening holds. So those are really holds has to be released manually. So it is showing, when I click on the matrix alerts, it will show all the alerts in the different, how many alerts by each customer wise. And I can go to the alerts, and I can, this one has a credit check hold. If I click on the update icon here, what it does is it will bring the orders HTML page, and I can look in that the on hold is yes, and this is the order. This order has the credit check hold. I can go ahead and release this hold from here, so that we can progress the order. And these are the, when I say late, these are the request dates. We already missed it. We are supposed to ship these products or the orders by this so and so date, but we didn't ship it. So it means the customer service representative has to follow up internally, and he has to talk to customer, make sure that he has to give an explanation why it was not delivered, and what is, if it is a high priority, then he has to act accordingly. Then these are the open orders. It means the orders are booked, but they are not yet shipped. Then you can see the open shipments here. So if you want to, to reach the revenue goal for that current month, sometimes they can prioritize which are the lines they can ship if they have inventory. So that is the about the order dashboard. So totally EBS has this is the whole screenshot I have, but we have 30 command centers and we have 106 dashboards. So we have the command centers. You can see the financial area, procurement projects, order management, manufacturing, and asset lifecycle and services, human capital management, HR as well. So benefits of ECC, the major benefits, major advantages are identify and act on top priorities without custom operational reporting, and access dashboards from mobile or desktop devices, and deploy rapidly with no change to the e-business suite database. We are not directly interacting with the Oracle EBS database, and leverage out of the UI and security integration. It is embedded. It comes out of the box. Flexibly meet new business requirements through configuration. Instead of coding, we can extend the dashboards, or we can change the charts and all. And these are HTML pages. Is easier for the user to adapt the reporting. There is no external, there is no any other additional training needed. And so I think will be running out of time. What I will do is I will quickly explain very high level. So in the ECC framework, let me go back to here. So this is our EBS database, and this is our application server, and this is our end user where he logs into the EBS application instance and he can access his pages. So, and ECC is sitting in the application tier, is parallel to the application server. So what it does is, so we don't, when a user runs a report or a command center, it doesn't go to the database. It goes to the application tab, and then it gets the data from the ECC. So it is called metadata. What it does is, when we run the data load programs, it gets the data from Oracle EBS data, and it digests in the ECC framework or ECC, service layer. This is where the data is digested. And on top of the data digestion, we create the data sets, like the requisition dashboard as a one requisition data set. Similarly, orders dashboard as an order dashboard. And the core engine has the all type of filters, the logics for how to apply the filters, the charts and all. The core engine has the logic. And this is the interactive user interface. This is the end user HTML pages. This is all the purely Java based framework. And always the service layer directly interacts with the EBS and gets the database and gets the data. And secondly, the service layer interacts with the end user layer as well. And so I think this is an application server. ECC managed server is sitting in the application server. So Oracle recommends to either we can have our ECC sitting in the same application server, or we can have a separate box depending on your EBS database size and number of users. How to manage your ECC, you have to figure it out. But Oracle recommends to have ECC in the separate box. And so the data load process. So initially, what we can run this extract programs, because we have to extract the data from the Oracle EBS database and digest in the ECC metadata. So initially, we have these are the programs they developed. ECC run data load tool, and only ECC administrator can run. And then we have to pass the application name and data set, whether you are going to run full load or incremental load, metadata load. So first time when we install ECC, we are going to run the full load. Later, you will schedule this process to run the incremental load so that you will see the real-time data. So otherwise, we are not, the data is not coming from the database. So there is always a delay. So maybe you can schedule this process to run the incremental load every 4 hours or even, depending on the business requirement, you can schedule the process. And full load takes quite a bit of time, but incremental load, it won't take that long. So initially, it came up with the ECC run data load program, but later what happened is every product, procurement, order management, they came up with their product-specific command center data extract programs. Purchasing as the POPCC, ECC data load, order management as the OM command center data load, Similarly, iProcurement has their own concurrent program. And when I say online last time, so it's not really online, but you can schedule the process so that you will see the real-time data. So extending dashboard, what is in scope? So we can extend an existing dashboard. Like if I have a requisition dashboard, I can extend that one. And I can build a new dashboard also using the requisition data set. Or you can, in the existing data set also, you can add additional columns. But what is out of scope is you cannot create a entirely new data set. So let us say I have the requisition data set. I cannot go and as a customer, EBS customer, I cannot create my own data set. Let us say if I don't have the procurement closing process dashboard, I cannot create my own. Or let us say if I don't have the receiving dashboard, I cannot create my own data set, or I cannot create my own command center. Only I can create the dashboards using the existing data set. So this has to come from Oracle, new command centers or creating new data sets. We can play around with the existing data set and our existing dashboards. And secondly, the data has to be, this ECC data comes from the only Oracle EBS. You cannot point to the external Excel file or any other legacy system. And high level, how you to extend the ECC dashboard. I'm going to, just I will explain. You'll first copy, if you want to create a new dashboard, you will copy the ECC page, then you create an FND function. Then you grant the access to that particular function. Personalize the OA page UI so that you can set the data source. And then there is an option from the ECC dashboard. When you log in as an ECC developer, there is an option to export the dashboard and import it to other instance for the migration purposes. So I think this year I'm showing here the screenshot how to see the your data sets from the ECC. When you log in as a ECC developer, we have two responsibilities. Called one is ECC developer, then another one is the ECC administrator. So from the ECC developer, you can look into your dashboards. You can see what is the data set, and these are the pages. You can see the data set here, and how to this is how to refresh this program. And security, then there is an export and import options. But if you want to add additional columns also, there is an option from in the when you log the ECC developer to add additional new columns or change the logic for any of the way it is calculating any of the field value. You can change that one from the ECC dashboard. And internally, if you see that this extract program, it is internally using the PLC call by first time to load the data into metadata. And some of the important Oracle support nodes. These are the support nodes. One is for installing how to install the ECC, and this one helps the last one. I believe this is 85 or 100 pages document. This will help you to how to extend the enterprise commands into dashboards. So with that, and I think we are running out of time. So I'm just going to talk about Oracle AC program. Probably you can go to the Oracle website, and you will see that Oracle AC program is primarily meant to recognize the Oracle professionals who contributes to the for their technical contributions in the community, and the Oracle members are the contributors are recognized with different awards. Oracle ACE Associate, Oracle ACE, and Oracle ACE Directors. The nomination criteria is different depending on your contribution to the community. Or if you write a blog, you get some points. If you are an active in the user community, you get some points, and then you have to maintain the status. But you can go through the website, and if you write any technical, any books, then you will get you will be recognized as the Oracle ACE Director. So with that, I will, if you have any questions, we can.
Hey, Venkat, this is Yanni. There are For the moment, 2 questions in the chat. I don't know if you can see the chat window. First one was from Yaku. So I'll read it, and in case it's not clear, well, we can always ask for more clarification. So there's a question: is there any impact on the current EBS in our case, well, in their case, 12.2.8 when installing ECC?
No, there is no impact because this is there is no impact to the existing infrastructure, existing application server or the database. I think if you there is a note here how to install. There is no impact. It is sitting as a is a separate service. It is sitting in the application tier. It's sitting as a managed service as a separate service. It is another Java servlet sort of thing. It has its own JVM, so there is no impact to the existing one.
So probably the only impact would be that you possibly need additional patches on your EBS side to get the ECC working. I guess that's the.
You are correct. You have to apply a couple of patches, right? And you might see performance also. It will not impact the application users' performance because you are directly interacting with your the user is interacting directly with the application server and ECC. I mean, actually, I could have shown the live demo, but sometimes it is a little bit slow, but it is much quicker. I didn't experience that. Really, when you open the page, it takes a few seconds and it brings up the output. Now, generally, when we run some Discord or reports or some concurrent programs, it takes 5-6 minutes, but I never seen it. It hardly comes within a minute. Because it's not querying the data from the database. It is going to the ECC. Are there any other questions?
Yes, there are. The next question was from Frodo Cook. He or she asked, you want real-time information, so you want the incremental load scheduled so often as possible. How heavy are the processes, and do you need high-end hardware?
No, I think these concurrent programs we schedule to fetch the data from the Oracle EBS to metadata to digest. Those are it's not a high volume. It depends again to business to business. Let us say how many POs you are creating within a 2 hours time of span, and how your it all depends on how your business requirements are. You want to see the real time data within an hour, then you have to schedule very frequently. But as for my knowledge is concerned, you don't really need the any additional application server or the more application server size, because these are the very small programs. It won't take that long. And depending on your business requirement, if you want to have to see the data within an hour, then you can schedule it hourly. Let's say if you want to see, okay, my buyers are going to see every if it is a 4 hours delay is okay, then you can schedule it 4 hours. It all depends on how how real time you want. Like financial reports, mostly they don't really see most of the reports, they are okay if they use if you refresh daily also, except the month end.
I agree, but the dashboards for instance, the worker by screen, I guess, you update some operational info, and you want to receive it in your dashboard, that update instantaneously is my vision.
Yeah. I think there is I didn't get your name, but there is I didn't explore. There is something called now online data tool. Oracle is saying exactly. I didn't explore exactly what does it mean. They are trying to do it instantaneously, or they're expecting us to schedule the programs very frequently. But that is a new feature they said is online data load tool.
Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll get back to you. Maybe I'll come back. I'll send a mail to. I'll give an explanation exactly what does it mean.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Venkat. And the next question was from Thomas. He asked if you copy the data, so does it mean that you need data on the server?
So copy the data. So what we are doing here, let me show you exactly here. Right, this one. So what is you are purchasing all our ERP data is sitting in the Oracle ERP database. So when we run the concurrent program, we are running the extract from the ERP database, and then it is digesting in the ECC metadata, ECC framework here. So we are copying, but we are not creating another database schema. We are not creating the data in the database. This is digested in the. It is using a different architecture to digest the data in the ECC layer. I guess it answers my question, but we are not increasing the database size.
Okay.
All the dashboard data is coming from ECC framework.
Okay, I think we have maybe time for one more question.
Yeah.
The question is from Mark van Uden. He asks, well, he says he's confused. Do those programs load the true metadata or the transactions themselves?
So I think so what we are doing. So let us say if let us say I'm running the procurement purchasing ECC data load program. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to extract all my requisitions, all my POs, POs means PO line, shipments, and everything. Then it is loaded in the metadata. It is loaded in the metadata, but but this is not the RDBMS. It is works on the based on the there is something called Java backend engine. It's the transactional data is coming from ERP, but we are similar to when you create the data warehousing tool. What you do is you create your you create your extracts, but you will have your own local database, right, in the data warehousing tool. But here we are not going to have another database. This is in the ECC metadata. It has a mechanism to digest the data, so that when what users ask, it will return the results back to the user. That is my understanding. But I think if you are looking for more information exactly how, probably I'm guessing that when you look into this particular note, it will give you more information. It explains our complete technical architecture.
Okay, well, I think we're at the end of our time because our next session starts in a few minutes, so we need to make sure that we can start that session.
Yeah.
I think you showed all your contact information as well, so if people want to know more, they can reach out to you.
Yeah,
this session was also recorded on the website.
Okay. If they are interested about the presentation presentation document, I can share with you, Jenny. If you want, I can share with the attendees as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. And thank you for joining the session, guys. Have a good day.
Okay. Thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.